In an easy but important win over the San Antonio Spurs, Brandon Pajemski was a kid in a candy shop. Since his return from injury, Podz has looked like a mini Luka with the motor of prime Russell Westbrook, with his crafty offensive arsenal where he manipulates space, bodies, and momentum to get buckets himself or generate shots for his team. His three-point shooting, which is finally recovering, and his excellent attentive defense and rebounding has been crucial for the Warriors since the trade deadline. In a brutal beating of the Spurs, Podz looked like a secondary scoring option and gave us a glimpse of the future. Let's review. So in order to be respected as a three-point shooter, which is important in with these new lineups, you need to be able to move like one. Pay attention to how Podz lifts from the corner and then drifts back down to get more space in the corner as Steph is able to get inside. It looks simple, but you just have to be able to move along the perimeter and be willing to take those shots to gain respect. Now, a lot of these lineups are doing well in part because Podz and Moody are shooting better. This means that when Jimmy gets isolations on his own side, as Guy is going to clear out weak side, Jimmy has more outlets, especially as he tries to get inside and draws help defenders. As he draws essentially the attention of three right here, you need shooters who can space out and who defenses respect spacing out to make this type of positioning more advantageous. And Podz, being at the top of the key, is able to take advantage of this and just let it fly. Jimmy, Steph, Draymond, they need these options on the perimeter in order to take advantage of the way defenses are playing Steph and Jimmy. And Podz has really been a lot better at shooting the three. Now here the Warriors are going to go into staggers. Kevon Looney and Pajemski are going to run staggered screens for Jimmy Butler. Kevon Looney is going to take the option and roll towards the basket, where Podz is going to pop out for three after kind of not getting contact, but setting a screen on Jimmy's man. Now, Jimmy doesn't immediately take this option because Castle stays with Podz. Looney is covered, and then Jimmy just ends up in isolation at the wing. But when you're a shooter, you need to keep moving. You need to space properly, and the ball will find you. And that's what Podz does right here, as again, he takes advantage of Jimmy drawing the attention of two defenders. He's spaced back out into this wing, which gives Jimmy an outlet, and then you just have to let it fly as soon as you get the ball. That's the mark of a good shooter, and that's what Podz has been displaying in the past several games. Now, something that Pajemski has always been good at is being a crafty scorer that can use momentum. In the beginning, I equated him to Luka, which is obviously an exaggeration, but Podz has been really good at using his stop-start momentum. There are a lot of great scorers that do this. Watch as Podz takes Vassell by selling it so far with this left leg plant, getting Vassell all the way out of the picture, and then he just has a wide open layup at the top. A lot of great scorers are able to use momentum like this, like Luka, like SGA. Even Stephon Castle on the Spurs has been really good at using his momentum, doing stop jumps in the inside to throw defenders off. Podz's ability to do that is really crucial, especially for someone of his stature, but also because he's really physical and he likes to get inside and he has really good footwork. Now, the Warriors were blowing out this game as Quinton Post sets this down screen for Podz to come across curl. Something to notice is that Podz is taking a lot of these craftier shots, especially when games are like this, where they're leading by almost 40. He has the option to try and find this dump into post, but he also tries to take this really weird hook. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a great shot, but I think something to track as we watch Podz more and more is how exactly he's able to develop more of an inside scoring arsenal that goes beyond the start and stop. And I think we're starting to see that, and we'll start to see that more as the Warriors rely on him more, probably in future seasons. Now, another thing that Podz was good at in the Spurs game is finding these inside passes. The Warriors have been getting these positions a lot where Jimmy or Quinton Post or someone will try and get positioning in the inside, sealing out their defender, and then it's just up to whoever's on the outside, usually Draymond, to find this inside pass. And this is obviously not an easy pass because you have to throw this over an ocean of defenders. But Podz is able to make that pass and hit the alley-oop to Jimmy Butler. Really useful shot and really important. The Warriors are getting a lot of opportunities like that, especially with the way their offense is spacing out. And here, let's see it again. Pick and roll with Quentin Post. Ends up making the feed as Post gets inside positioning, and that's just an easy, free basket. Now, this next section is a little bonus, but something that Podziemski has always been great at is rebounding. Last year, he was one of the best rebounding guards in the league as a rookie, in part because all of the things that make him a unique offensive asset, like craftiness, body positioning, spacing, awareness, also make him an incredible rebounder. Now, we can't cover everything with these 2 rebounds, but let's watch what he does. The first thing I want you to pay attention to is how Podz uses these box outs with his positioning to secure rebounds. Watch here how as soon as he believes this ball might be, or this shot might be attempted, he's already moving with his arms to box out Jeremy Sohan. Now, that doesn't seem unique, but Podz is one of the few guards in the league that you can still watch do this every single play, every single night. By getting this type of box out, he's trying to seal a zone where he can get a rebound. He even makes a swipe at, I believe, Castle in this case, as he tries to shoot this. But by trying to secure that zone, also watch how he turns his head right here to watch where Castle is moving. It looks small, but Podz is always watching where other potential rebounders are putting their bodies, and then he's trying to get in better positioning. As soon as he recognizes that he's safe, he has this area all by himself and is able to get that rebound. Now in this possession, this is a Steph layup attempt, and watch as Podz gets inside. Let's look at what he's doing immediately. He's shifting his body to box out. By doing that, he secures an area of opportunity that he can run into, and then if the shot doesn't go up, boom, he's already up there. He's already going for the rebound. It looks small. It looks like something that you would say any guard would do, but I think if you watch the NBA, and especially if you watch the Warriors, no one really does it like Podz. Now, Podz is just one small part of the Warriors machine that will need to be well-oiled to succeed in the playoffs. But with dependability coming from Steph, Jimmy, and Draymond, it's really up to Podz and Moody to hit open shots, to make great plays, and to play stout defense. If they can succeed with the trust that everyone else seems to have in Steph, Jimmy, and Draymond, I think the Warriors just might have a chance. Thanks for watching. Let us know if you agree.